All right, it is just almost 9 a.m. on Tuesday, March 26th, and today is not a great day for me. Oh, and 2 today, and took a hit on two PA accounts. Not only two PA accounts, but PA2, which was the account that I have been the closest to getting my payout on. I was less than $400 away. Now I'm back down to $1,000 away again after taking a $613 hit. And then I went on to take a second trade on another chart and picked up a second loss for the day and lost $543. So today was a frustrating day, mostly because I recognized early on that it was a low volume day, not a lot of setups, and I recognized as a day that I just wasn't really comfortable with, and I was skipping trades early on, and there were at least two or three trades that I easily could have taken that could have been wins, and instead I do what I always do when I'm getting close to a payout, and it's one step forward to a payout and then one step back. So yesterday I squeaked by, avoiding a loss by just the slimmest margin, by a single tick on my trade yesterday on PA2, and it came back for me today. So as the closest I've been to a payout on this particular account, PA2, and then today, I just don't know what it is, but this is something that no matter what system I've traded, every time, this is now the third system I've been trading with on Apex, by the way. And previously, before I was trading the system on NQ last year, you could look on my YouTube, I was within a payout about 3 or 4 times within one trade of a payout. And every time I'm this close to a payout, it's like a self-sabotage almost. I get so tight with my trading and I want to be so careful that I skip and skip and skip trades. And then by the time I finally decide to take a trade, that's the trade that loses. And all the ones beforehand that I could have taken would have been winners. So it's definitely a psychology thing, and it's just really tricky. And I'm trying to break that habit, and I need to break that habit. And the problem is I need to stop thinking about this. I need to stop thinking about the payout. I need to stop thinking about the money, because it's definitely the thing that holds me back. I need to just, take that away, right? I need to take that away and not think about it anymore, because the whole point of the system I'm trading now is I have to trust the overall chart. And if I'm trusting the overall chart, there were opportunities before this trade, as well as on my other charts that I'm trading, because I had 4 charts that I was trading off of today. There were at least 2 or 3 other trades I could have taken. And by the time I picked up this loss, if I was trading my system the way I'm supposed to trade it, I would have already picked up 2 or 3 wins, been, either through 2 of my PA accounts with wins, and then the third trade potentially could have been a loss, or maybe the fourth trade. So it depends. Maybe I would have avoided losses on my PAs altogether and got a loss on one of my evaluations. But today was an example of not really following my system, because my system is look for charts where every second entry is working for my profit target, and then take the trades as they come. And I'm not supposed to apply any rules, filters, or my own analysis. And, for instance, this was a first entry long and a second entry long. I'm not supposed to care about signal bars or anything. And I didn't take this because I was like, well, I think it's going to close the gap. That was my own subjective analysis. I think we're going to close the gap at the previous day close. And so I don't feel comfortable taking a long, because I think that's what's going to happen. Well, that kept me out of a winning trade, right? And so that's just one example of that kind of a situation. And so then I waited, and so because I still had the bias of thinking we were going to close the gap, I took this short. Now this didn't break any rules. Like, I'm not upset about the fact that I took this loss. What upsets me is the fact that I skipped other trades beforehand that could have been winners. And so I'm actually, when I do this sort of thing on any given day, where I'm skipping trades and for no good reason really, other than I'm just like not feeling the price action, it's a slow volume day or a low volume day, and slow price action. That was keeping, like, the melees of the feeling of the day kept me out of trades. And because I was applying my own bias to things, I was not taking trades that the chart was presenting opportunities. And so therefore I wasn't taking advantage of my edge today. My edge is that when I take every entry, I should come out with more wins than losses. And we're seeing that when I'm taking the trades, I've been solidly at 80, 81, 82% over the course of now 186 trades. So when I'm taking advantage of my edge, I know that I should be at least 9 or 8 wins out of 10 trades. But I have to take the trades for the numbers to work out that way. When I start skipping trades, when I start applying bias or my own analysis, I'm not trusting the chart, that's where I'm going to be missing out on some of the winners because I'm, being hesitant and not choosing to take the trades. And then I'm just setting myself up to, just take the trade where I'm running into the loser. And so I did that on 2 charts today. So let me take this off my screen here. If you want to go back and watch my live streams, you'll see how it went down. You'll see the whole day when I started, I was saying, it's just one of those days. It's, today's one of those days I'm better off to just stay flat, not take a trade. I kept having reasons to not enter and saying I should go back to sleep. And then this setup with the bias of going to close the gap here at this dotted blue line. So every day I'm live streaming between 10 and 12:30. I show my wins, I show my losses. As you can see, not a fun review for me to show an 0-2 day. I haven't had an 0-2 day. I think this is my first 0-2 day I've ever had on the system. I've usually had at least 1 win, I think. If that's not true, maybe it's my second time this has ever happened in 3 months. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But regardless, I am live streaming. Come check me out every day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. 80% discount is still going on. Use this code or any other. The discount expires tomorrow at market close. So that's the 27th of March. And then it'll go to another discount. Whatever the current discount is, the code will always be for the best discount. All right, let's take a look here and move on. All right, so my first trade here, I started right around 7, so up here. Not long after I started, there was a first entry, second entry short. This happened on a couple different charts, and I think it was better on a different chart, maybe the way it's set up. But the close was above the previous day high, which is this yellow line. And so I didn't take the trade because my rule had been to not take the trade and just observe. And this was like the 8th time that I've observed in a row that when it triggers below the line, it's worked. So 8 out of 8 times that trade has worked. And I say that because this is going to have to do with my second losing trade today and the trade I took that ended up not working. But anyway, so I was very patient. I was looking at multiple charts. There was a second entry long here. I already explained why I didn't take that. That could have been a win. I think there was another chart like that here. First entry, second entry, again, could have been a win. So that's 2 that I could have taken. That happened slightly different times. I think I might have been able to get into both of them. And so let's see, going back here, I did take this trade thinking that we would close the gap. It didn't happen. I took a loss on PA2. As I already discussed, that was unfortunate. And then I moved on. I only had 1 chart left by the time I took this trade. And oh, look at this. It stopped me out and then went ahead and worked. So this trade, I'm supposed to not take the trade according to my current rules, but after seeing 8 out of 8 trades work in this situation, I had a first entry long, second entry long. The bar closed right on the opening price. Now I've been staying out of these trades and just observing to see when they work. 8 out of 8 times this would have worked in the previous times I've observed it, literally. And if you go back to my live stream, I was talking about that when it happened here. Again, first entry short, second entry short on this chart. It closed above the line of resistance I was concerned about, but then the trigger happened below and it went on to work. And so having seen that work 8 out of 8 times and having had a loss today and knowing that I was going to be stopping right now to end my day, I decided, okay, well, it's worked 8 out of 8 times. I'm going to take this trade. And of course, the one time I take it is the one time out of 9 trades where it didn't work. So PA2 got a loss here on a trade that I said I was going to observe it for 2 more times before I took the trade. I think I was just frustrated with the day. I knew I wasn't going to be trading anymore today. Took the trade, lost, not by much. I did move my stop from below this bar to below this one. Maybe that was too close together. If I had moved it to below this previous swing, it would have turned around and ended up working for a win. So I've got to think about that, whether I want to do that, because there's been multiple times where that would have saved my trade. Although if I moved it here and it moved that far against me, that would have likely blown the account. I'm not even sure. Maybe this would have even blown the account because I only have an extra 500 or 600, something like that, in drawdown. So not really sure, but if it didn't blow my account to move it down there and for the price to move here, I would have ended up with a winner. So that was my day today. Frustrating. And I really just need to stop thinking about the payout, stop thinking about how close or not close I am on which accounts, and trade my system. That's, my edge is taking every entry and not putting my analysis in it, not drawing channels, not thinking about where, we're supposed to close a gap or, test a new high or whatever the case may be. I'm supposed to just take the entries. And that's what's been working for me large in part over the course of all this time, and has led to an over 80% win rate. So today was just an example and a reminder to me. I got to take advantage of my edge. I got to take the trades, no matter how good or bad it feels. I got to just accept it. And then at least that way, I'll be able to I'll be able to more easily accept the losses when they come on the chart, as opposed to in this case where I've skipped trades and then, by the time I decide to take a trade, it's the first second entry that doesn't work on the entire session. And that's the case today, on both of my trades. This was the first time a second entry didn't work on the chart. And this was the first time a second entry didn't work on this chart. And, today's just one of those days. It's how it goes. I'll be back tomorrow to fight another day. And the good thing about my system by rotating accounts is that no single loss is ever going to completely devastate the account and break the account. And so that's kind of a key of my risk management. And so at least I stuck to my guns on trading that way. And you can see if I was trying to get my money back on PA2 with my second trade today, I would have just been down over $1,100 today instead. So I just got interrupted. My daughter just came in here, so I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, so it's just gonna have to be a lesson learned. Like I need to stick with the system and not deviate from the plan. Today I deviated from the plan. I was trading scared. I wasn't taking the entries I should be taking. And this is the kind of thing that's happened to me no matter what system I've been trading. And so this is kind of a signal to me that it's not the system, it's a me thing, and it's my psychology. And when I get close to a payout, when I get close to qualifying, I start changing what I'm doing and what's been working for me. And I get hesitant and I start skipping trades that would work. And then, of course, by the time I finally take a trade, as Murphy's Law would have it, I take the loss. And so I'll feel a lot better about things if I just stick to my system and get the loss just in the natural course of trading my edge than, skipping 2 or 3 entries where I could have already had my win for the day on the account that I'm concerned about. It's like this self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm so concerned about taking a loss that I'm being extra careful. It changes the way I trade. It takes away from my edge. And then I just end up running into the loss anyway, because I skipped the trades that worked, that, maybe they didn't look as good as the ones I took. And then, and that's just how it goes. So Not much else to say. Check out my live stream. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in following me on this journey. I'm surprised, but not surprised that today happened. Honestly, it's just something. It's something I've got to get past. It's something that I've been aware of. That I'm just putting so much importance on my PA number two. I had a comment today in my live stream that I get very emotional. I'm more emotional for that account than I am the other accounts. And I need to break myself of that. My whole strategy, my risk management is that no account should be more important than the other. And of course, the PA that feels the closest to the payout is going to feel more important. It just naturally makes sense, right? But I can't treat it that way. And I think that's the thing is like, I got to just trade within my system. I got to put that all out of my mind, the money, wanting the payout, wanting the money back in my pocket. I've really got to figure out how to just trade the system and take the trades when they come and accept the losses where they may be. And I think, and I have been accepting the losses wherever they arise, as long as I'm taking the trade, taking every trade as they come. So this is frustrating too, to just get ticked out by not very much for it to then turn around and work. So timing was off today. Today is just a choppy, slow and low volume day. Not a lot of movement, especially because I'm trading larger tick size charts. So I'll just have to redouble my efforts to stay within my system and trade my edge. I think that's my biggest takeaway for today. And so I got to get out of this rut of every time I take a step forward and getting closer and closer to the payout, I end up taking that one step back. That was the third or fourth time this account has been over the 5,200 mark, only to then get a loss and be bounced back to around this level. So there's a part of it that's randomness because of my system, but there's a part of it that's a me thing, and I just got to break that. So anyway, I think I've said it all. I appreciate you watching. 150 wins and 36 losses overall for the year. Not a great week, 1 and 2, 33%. With only 2 days left to trade this week, slow week. So we'll see if I can turn this around before the week ends. But definitely on pace for one of my worst weeks of trading these 3 months. But these days are going to happen. These weeks are going to happen. And it's about maintaining the accounts to be able to survive these issues, and then be able to continue on to have better days that get me to my goals. So I think I've said it all, and I'm going to be out of here. Thanks for watching, and be back tomorrow.